Good evening everybody and welcome to Sim Experience SA. Tonight we are doing a rerun of Saturday's unfortunate race event that didn't quite go to plan. So we are doing Thruxton once again, but this is round, I guess, take 2 of Thruxton, so we're calling it Thruxton 2. So unfortunately for those that aren't aware, Thruxton round 1 didn't go to plan because of extreme heat on my side. So I'm Dennis Mitchell, I'll be your commentator, and your broadcast director is Sim Experience SA. And for tonight's round, we're back at Thruxton. So last week we couldn't do it because of the extreme heat. Unfortunately my router decided to pack in, so about 5 minutes before the stream started, that was the end of my internet. So we're doing this round in particular just to give the guys a bit of airtime, since the events never got streamed. But we are keeping the results from Saturday's race because Willem Steyn, for example, got his very first podium, so we can't take that away from him. So what we'll be doing is adding a round to the championship, so it is now effectively a 9-round championship. So what that means is that at the end of the day, the points gained from the previous round, at the end of the championship they will lose their worst round, so it'll still be 8 rounds points for the overall championship, and the guys that had their best round in the round that was missed due to the internet issues won't be losing those results. So hopefully this keeps everyone happy and we get to see a bit of everything. So let me get up our timing. I also have some new things on my side to try, but while I get this up, there's also a little bit of news on the rFactor front. So on the 27th, rFactor will be launching its new UI and pretty much a whole overhaul of the game. So let me show you what that's going to look like. So let me show you exactly what it will be looking like. So this is what the new UI is going to look like. It's a major improvement over the existing UI. And then this is what the menus will look like when you're selecting events and choosing your track and car and everything. So the whole experience is way better. They've even improved the, what would you call this, the gallery. So basically when you're looking at your studio, as they would call it, when you're looking at your car, it even looks a lot more modern. So hopefully everyone likes that and is happy with that, because that's what we will be getting in a day or so's time. So looking forward to that. Everything's been overhauled. So yeah, fingers crossed that makes a big difference, and that's attracts a lot more people in, because unfortunately one of the downsides to rFactor, it's got the best physics, but it had probably one of the worst UI experiences in the way that you had to click and go back and forward so many times to get anywhere. The frustration levels for some was just too much to bear, and the game got canned. So for those of us that stuck it out, we get to enjoy the driving, but for those that didn't, well, there's a second chance for you now, and hopefully we'll be seeing some of those drivers on track. So for this round, unfortunately there's also a few of the drivers that couldn't make it tonight. So we have a few drivers on track, not as many as we had the previous round, so we only have 8 drivers on track now. We were kind of hoping that there would be more, but unfortunately some of our drivers don't even have electricity tonight, thanks to ESCOM and maintenance that they've been doing in certain parts of the country. The power has been down for several days, so unfortunately that's affected several of our drivers. So hopefully we'll have them back by the next round, so fingers crossed they'll have electricity possibly later tonight or tomorrow. I'm sure they are struggling without electricity to do all their daily grind that they need to do. Can't even make a cup of coffee and just relax, and it's terrible. So back to the racing. At the moment we are in qualifying. We have Stephen Castellan on pole, provisional pole, on a 1 minute 10.8. When I deploy 4 tenths behind, and under Hildebrandt in third. I'm pretty sure Mikke will be up there as soon as he gets a lap, and he hasn't yet done a lap. As we see Harvey close, and we now go back to Morne deploy. I really do love that skin of his. I think it looks fantastic. And of course his teammate was Willem Steyn, who got his first podium at the mysterious and vanishing previous round, Thruxton round 1. So we kind of have the points. I haven't actually updated the points as they should be. So looking at the season standings, let's have a look at those quickly. These are not 100% accurate. I think after tonight's round they will shuffle a bit differently and hopefully everything will be seen the way they should be seen. Why are we not seeing them? Right, there we go. So at the moment we have Mikko in first place, Morne Deploy in second, Stephen Castle in third, Willem Steyn in fourth, Donnie Stunder in fifth, Ross Human in sixth, Andre Hildebrandt in seventh, Mario Claessens in eighth, and ninth Harvey Close, and 10th Sean Johnson. Now I believe after round 3 was held, those have changed slightly. I didn't update them because I wanted to make sure that the points were the same from this, so from the following round that will actually have an extra 2 rounds added in there. So that's not 100% accurate, but for now that's what we have. Right, so let's get back to the racing. So, is Mikko on a good lap? Let's get on board with him if we can. This is coming up to the end of a fast lap with the fastest middle sector. And he does take pole. 0.050 from Stephen Castellan. As we see Andre Hildebrandt pulling over, I guess he's going to pit and have a second stab at it. Or a third stab at it, however many stabs he's had. 5 minutes left in qualifying. If anyone could also just let me know how the audio is in the YouTube channel. I am running a new microphone, so I'm not too sure if it's loud enough, too soft. If the game volume is alright, hopefully everything is going smoothly. Just going to take a slight breather just so that I can hear it myself. Alright, at least I can hear we do have engine sounds, so we can hear what everyone's doing, and my voice is there so you can all hear me. Alright, so for those that aren't aware, tomorrow night we also have our TCR round. I see Denise Abrams saying all sounds good. Thank you very much, Denise, and thank you for joining us. So tomorrow night we have the TCR rounds, so for those of you that are watching and following that, please join us for that. That'll be fantastic. I'll be driving that myself, and Morne will be doing the stream. His fantastic streams that he puts together for us. Alright, is Mikko going to improve? He's pretty close in sector 1, 0.037 off, 0.067 off in sector 2. He could improve slightly if he gets a good final sector. Of course, he did improve slightly on the lap that we happened to catch him crossing the line on. Oh, he's just unfortunately run it slightly on through the final chicane. Alright, so let's have a look at our timing. Is there anyone else that's on a good lap with only just under 3 minutes left to go? So unfortunately most of the drivers are in the pits. Are they going to come out and go for a final run? So Mikko's going for it again. Let's see if we can. Nice lap of the track. Fantastic track, extremely fast. We're flat out for about 60 seconds of the lap. And when you consider the lap is only a minute and 10 seconds, there's basically 4 braking zones. So your foot is pretty much planted most of the time. Nice tight line there. chicane. Will he get it nice and tidy? A little bit loose. Lost a little bit of drive on the exit. Had a fantastic middle sector, but not able to improve on that lap. Only a fraction slower than his personal best. His personal best, which is currently pole, is a 1:10.762, and that previous lap was a 1:10.780. Alright, let's see what Steven's busy doing and if he's able to counter anything at the moment. No, he's in the pits. So Steven is in the pits. Monet, how about Monet? Monet is in the pits. Everyone is pitted with not enough time left to do a lap. So at the moment we have Ross on track. Ross and Mario are the only two drivers on track that could possibly challenge. Unless everyone has decided just to settle for the positions they've got. Let's see. Ross has at least got his personal best in sector 1. This track's absolutely fantastic for slipstreaming. There's so much flat out, so if you're sitting in someone's slipstream you gain so much and possibly even save a bit of fuel. Right, fastest in the middle sector. A slight lock up into the final chicane, unfortunately. Right, so not managing to improve on that lap. Unfortunately, I think that lock up in the final sector didn't help for Ross. But let's see, Ross is still on track. He can finish this lap, so he's the only driver, I think, apart from Mario, as Mika has now pitted. So we have two drivers on track. We have Ross and we have Mario. We see a lot of dust there, and that's Mario going off, so he won't be improving. Right, let's see, can Ross do it? No pressure. The eyes of the world are on Ross Human at the moment. Right, his time to beat is a 1:11.698. But off in his first sector. I don't think he's going to improve. Middle sector is not too bad. Pretty close to his personal best. Get the final chicane right, slight locker. Camera's going off, taking some nice pictures of him. And unfortunately it does not improve. So that is our starting order for the night. So let's have a look at our session results. So we will... That's not the results we want. We wanted qualifying results. So, in pole position we have Mika Abrams. In second place, Stephen Castellan. In third place, Monet Deploy. In fourth place, Ross Human. In fifth place, Andre Hildebrandt. In sixth place, Mario Claessens. In seventh place, Dani Stander. And in eighth place, Javi Goos. Right, so we will now take a quick ad break and we'll be back with you as soon as they're on the grid. So, catch you shortly. Alright, and welcome back everyone. As we have all the drivers slowly making their way around on their formation lap. Let's get our timings and everything back up. Alright, so let's take a look at our starting grid again. If I can get that. Now where did it go? Right, our starting order for this race. We have Mika Abrams in first, Stephen Castellan in second, Mornay Deploy in third, and Ross Human in fourth. In fifth place, Andre Hildebrandt. In sixth place, Mario Claessens. In seventh place, Dani Stander. And in eighth place, Harvey Koos. So this will be a 30-minute race, almost said a 30-minute lap. It's quite a long lap. A 30-minute race. Pit stops are completely optional, so it's no longer mandatory for any pit stops. It hasn't been at all for this series. Tyre wear on this track shouldn't be very heavy with only 4 braking zones. Not sure why one of the... was that Harvey or was that Dani that was parked? I presume that was Harvey that just had pulled over for a bit there. Hopefully there's no issues with him. There's Harvey and there's Dani, so maybe they're just warming up their tyres. Alright, so the guys will be shortly getting ready, and Mika doing a nice little bit of weaving on the track to get some heat in his tyres. Really fantastic liveries these guys are running. Mika with a Red Bull Junior livery, and then he's got the classic Rothmans behind him. 2 of those. There's a classic Marlboro colour scheme behind him. So some really fantastic liveries, and of course Mornay's livery looks really fantastic as well. Fulcrum Racing. And his teammate Willem Steen in our YouTube comments saying "Go Mornay, go!" So cheering on his team and his teammate. Fulcrum Racing for the win. Yes, let's hope so. Someone needs to stop Mika, who's on a runaway at the moment in the championship, having won every single round so far. So someone needs to put the brakes on Mika and give him a fight. Also have Sean Olivier in the YouTube chat saying audio sounds great. Sounds lacquer, so yeah, good to hear. Well, glad that you can hear that it's good. Alright, as the driver's now shaking up the grid. A bit slow on my transitions there. Let's actually remove that, get that out the way. Right, let's see, the camera's picking up a lot of wind at the moment. Must be a gusty day in the UK. Look at the flags waving around. Must be a bit of heavy wind there. Right, 7 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. And we're off. Green flag, green, green, green. Steven having an excellent drive around the outside of Mika there. Right. Mornay up the inside for third, keeping it nice and clean there. And Ross right behind him. Right, so Steven's got the perfect start here. Mika has someone in his sights for probably the first time in a couple of rounds. I think 2 rounds back, Mornay and himself were swapping places quite a lot with the previous rounds. It seems like he had pretty much no challenge apart from Mornay, who unfortunately lost a bit of time coming up on the back markers. So let's see how long before Mika can challenge. Looks like he's already looking. Steven leaving the door open. Oh, and Mornay running wide there. How much time has Mornay lost? Not too much, considering. That was very lucky. Right, so let's head back to Steven. So Mika looking up the inside. Yes, going for it. keeping it nice and clean as well. Looked like he might actually run wide, but managed to pull it in nice. Keeping the car on the nose there. And already pulling out a gap on Steven. This is looking a little bit ominous for the field. Mika's going to vanish off into the distance. Alright, let's see how the lap times, if anyone settles. Ross is nice and close in behind. He seems to have run slightly wide there. He was actually nice and close behind Steven. And of course, Monet is all over him at the moment. So will Monet now make a move? Monet needs to be fast to get through the field. He seems to be the only one who has the pace to possibly challenge Mika. Steven has the pace, but doesn't seem to have it at the moment. But the mind you, the gap doesn't seem to be increasing that much at the moment. Right, here comes Monet, nicely poised in the slipstream. Will he go up the inside here? He's looking. Back in the slipstream, now it's going. There he goes. Right, can he get it done? No, Ross has got it covered. Can he possibly get better exit? No, Ross has got it covered. Nicely defended by Ross. Mick is setting a fastest time of 1:10.831. That's the first flying lap. That's a pretty good start. Right, let's get our banners back up so we know who's where. A nice fight here for first at the moment. Well, technically second. First is slowly pulling away now. Fantastic track this. There are some dangerous curbs on this track if you go a bit too far over and you get to the green part of the curb and hit that, the car tends to get a bit airborne. So the guys are aware of that, so they need to be very cautious and stay off the curbs. Donnie getting really sideways there. Having a good look at Mario there. I'm not sure how that went. Let's see how this is going. Yeah, this is all pretty much the same. Let's have a look back here. Will Donnie be making a move? We're having a look. Oh, a lot better speed coming in there. I think Mario was a lot slower on the apex than he was expecting. Doing well to avoid that. And the Hildebrandt's getting a good bit of pace at the moment in 5th place. Right, so let's see, we have Monet challenging again, not able to get past Ross. He's going to start getting frustrated at this point and might end up making mistakes. Let's hope for his sake that he can keep it all together and get past. As we see Donnie's obviously made a mistake trying to get past Mario. I'm not sure if he maybe got caught out by Mario being a bit slower on the apex than him. Or if possibly he tried hard to get past Mario and made a mistake. So for those of you that aren't aware, our previous round, which was on Saturday, was cut short due to the excessive heat conditions. So here in Cape Town where I am, my temperature was around 40 degrees. And my router basically gave in with about 5 minutes before the stream. So that's why we're having the race tonight. So all the results from that round carry over into the season, and this round also is counting, but this one was just so that we could have Thruxton on the stream. So at the end of the season we have 9 rounds, but only 8 rounds will count. So the worst round will get deducted from the end of the points. Oh, Steven going wide. And that's Steven around. That's the end of Steven. That's his challenge gone. At that point Ross was ahead of him as well. So Ross having a good race. Ross now in second with Monet right behind him. So Ross on for his best position, best result so far this season. Monet's challenging hard. Monet carrying a lot more speed into the final chicane. Taking a lot more curve as well, as Mika just now setting the fastest lap time of 1:10.744. These two behind while fighting are sitting 1 minute 12.2 lap times, so they're slowing each other down a bit. That could have also been because of the Stephen Castellan incident. But I think when the Stephen incident happened, he was behind them, so I'm not sure if the pass by Ross on Stephen had slowed their lap already or not. We did not see the pass. Well, I did not see it if it was on the screen. Looking, it just doesn't seem to have enough in the slipstream to get by. It looks like all passing has to be done on the brakes. The slipstream seems to have very, very little effect, and I'm not sure if that's because of the gearing in the cars. I would imagine so, because they all have fixed setups, so in the slipstream they should be faster. Getting extremely close. When his wheel almost up against the side pod there of Ross's car. Putting a little bit of tire marks on there almost. Well coordinated, it doesn't touch any of the tires. Right, so he's right up behind him now. So the camera's going crazy in the background. This is fantastic dice here. Nice and clean so far, side by side. And then cutting him back, trying to get a tighter line and then losing a bit of traction, unfortunately. As we change to Andre Hildebrand, who's now right behind Stephen Castellan. So can Andre get a surprise 4th place here and get past Stephen? Stephen seems to be struggling at the moment, locking up a lot, as you see a lot of tyre smoke there. It seems like Andre Hildebrand is driving in Donnie Stunder's car tonight. I'm not sure if he's aware of that. As Monet's going for the move, no, looks like he's rolled out of it and just gets on the grass as well. And it looks like Ross has lost it. Like Monet got a little bit sideways before and had to roll out of it, and as he rolled out of it, Ross lost the rear end into the final chicane there. That's really unfortunate for Ross, but he's still in 3rd. He can still get his best result of the season, I believe. He's had a 4th. He hasn't yet had a 3rd. So this will be his first podium of the season. Filling the shoes of Willem for another first time podium run of the season. Mario behind Donnie Stunder here, someone in the sights. Let's see how their lap times are looking. So Mario's previous lap times are 1:12.9 and Donnie in front of him also a 1:12.9. Near identical lap times. A 12.962 and a 12.956. So Mario only a fraction faster, pretty close between them. There's some good competition going down the field here. Mika unfortunately pulled clear away with the 7.7 second lead at the moment from Monet Deploy. So, as our timing board reminds us, 20 minutes remaining, so 2/3 of the race remaining. Also a reminder, if you're enjoying what you are seeing and enjoy our content, then please remember to like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. It also helps us get other viewership, and if you'd like to join us, we have a Discord link in the description, so everyone is welcome. It's free to join. Come join us, come sign up, come jump in on some of the racing, whether it's with Assetto Corsa or whether it's with rFactor 2. Those are currently the 2 primary sims that we are using for our leagues. We do fun events for other sims as well as Automobilista 2. Occasionally we do some rallying. We have a rally event coming up using Richard Burns Rally, which is actually a modified version that's still very relevant sim in today's world. So we have an event in that coming up. We occasionally do events in race room, although those are very, very seldom. And you see a nice slow-mo of Andre, I'm not sure why. Oh, he must have hit something really solid on that curb. At least he's managed to keep it going though. So yes, please remember to like and subscribe and help the channel grow, and come join us if you're enjoying what you are seeing and you'd like to be part of it. There's always room for more drivers. At the moment most of our drivers seem to prefer Assetto Corsa, but rFactor's got its new update coming, which will hopefully bring a few more drivers in. rFactor is probably more realistic physics wise for most of us. We think that unfortunately the rest of it is just not up to scratch, so it's being worked on heavily at the moment. So I'm aware of all the issues and they're slowly bringing it up to spec, so hopefully that will bring our numbers up as well. Unfortunately tonight we don't have very high numbers because of this race being redone during the week rather than on the Saturdays. Some of the drivers couldn't make it, and then of course some that just don't have power. But at least we have some good dices going on throughout the field. Because at the moment we have Donington Park behind a ghost of himself, of Andre Hildebrandt in Donington Park's car. Quite strange seeing two of the same car on track. You see Andre making a slight mistake and unfortunately losing 2 places as a result of that. So Donington Park and Mario Clausen's managing to get by. Andre actually had a very good round the previous round, I believe getting a 4th place. So let's take a look at the front and see how it's going for Steven. He doesn't even have Monet in his sight. How about Monet? Monet, the gap from Monet to Mika has actually come down slightly. It's now 5.9 seconds and it was at 7 seconds, so possibly Mika has run off somewhere. Which can sometimes happen when you have such a big lead, you lose focus a little bit, so... Yeah, it has definitely come down. Our timing screen and the app as well there is saying that it's now 6.1 seconds, so it's actually increased slightly. So I'm presuming that Mika made a slight mistake and is now back up to speed and extending it, and now it's 6.2. Stephen Castellan a whole 20 seconds back. Looks like Ross is quite close to Stephen, only 3 seconds back on Stephen, so possibly Ross is the next one. He might actually end up. Let's go on board and see. You can actually see Steven now, so he's got his teammate in his sights. Does he have the pace to catch him? The previous lap, no. Steven did an 11.1 and Ross did an 11.8. You can see Mario and his fantastic Marlboro color scheme. Andre nice and close behind us. 3-way back of the F4. Got 6th and 7th. Oh, Donnie running slightly wide. Will Mario be able to capitalize? Doesn't look like it. Andre has also got them nice and firm in his sights. He might be able to capitalize. So we're at the halfway mark, or just past the halfway mark, with just under 15 minutes remaining. So at the moment we still have Mika out in front, and the gap is pretty much stabilized. It's on 6.1 at the moment. It was 6.1 just now, and then it went to 6.2 and we're back on 6.1. So maybe he's decided after that mistake just to roll it back slightly. As we see, Donington Park and Mario Claessen's making a mistake, and unfortunately that cost Mario a place to Andre. I think Mario was kind of caught off guard there by Donnie's mistake, so had to take avoiding action, and as a result he's lost the place. Oh, heavy over the curbs there. Just sits so low in the floor in these cars, that would definitely be hard on the back. Let's see. I think Ross is unfortunately falling back slightly from Stephen. The previous lap was at 11.1 for Stephen and 11.2 for Ross. So it doesn't look like Ross will be able to catch up to Stephen. It looks like this is going to be the best battle of the race. Again, Donnie getting it slightly wrong over the curb, inside curb, getting the car a little bit loose. Andre now having a nice look up. But Donnie, I was going to say he's going to go up the inside there maybe, but he actually took a slightly different line that didn't really gain any time. Much better line by Andre there, getting nice and close. Unfortunately, when you take so much curb over there, you lose a bit of momentum onto the straight, so that I think is costing the drivers quite a lot. Sometimes it definitely pays to be a bit smoother on these the exits of the corners of going into the straights, especially with such long straights. So Mika has actually made a mistake, and we have a new leader. Mornay Deploy is now in the lead and has almost an 8-second lead. So what has happened? Mika has just under 12 minutes to try and catch. Let's keep an eye on this. He now has a fixed target, so let's see, will he be able to catch? Can he even see Monet in distance? He can't, the gap is so big. He's going to have to put his head down now and try and catch Monet. And can Monet maybe keep it all together and get his first win of the season? He's been threatening to get a win at several rounds and it just hasn't happened. Unfortunately, Mika has just outdone him several times, as we see Andre having a look at Donnie Stunder here. Getting really close there, Mario just lurking in the background. Mario was the victim of the previous incidents. Will he be the beneficiary of the next one? Looks like he's just ready to pounce as soon as the two of them in front of him slow each other down. So Mika has just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:10.482. Half a second faster than what Monet was on the previous lap. So at that rate, he still won't be able to catch Monet if Monet keeps it all together. And there we have Mario actually picking up a place, getting ahead of Andre Hildebrandt. Andre running slightly wild in the exit there. Andre saw him coming and moved over and just gave him plenty of space. Good spatial awareness there by Andre as always. So the gap now between Mornay Deploy and Mika Abrams is now 6.7 seconds with 10 minutes remaining. So the challenge is on for Mika. He's definitely pushing. He's going for it since he's just set the fastest lap of the race. But let's see if his next lap will be able to improve even more on that. And let's hope he doesn't make any mistakes. Let's see if he can catch up and we can have a nice battle for the end. So 6.4 seconds off now. At this rate he's going to catch. I think he'll probably catch at this rate maybe on the last lap. Depending on Monet's consistency, if Monet can keep his lap times low 111s or high 110s, then I think he could hold off Mika, but his last lap was a 110.3, so that's not fast enough. At that rate, Mika is going to catch him. So now it's up to Monet to pick up the pace. Can he react? Can he defend for his first victory of the season? Go on board with Andre again. I'm surprised that other drivers don't deliberately sit in the slipstream. I see they run slightly wide of the driver in front of them. So for example, there Andre was on the inside and Mario was on the outside line. I would have thought that Andre would be sitting right behind him trying to get the slipstream and gaining as much as he can. As he sits right behind him now. Is he close enough to make a move? He's looking, he's trying. Yes. He's through. Nicely done, Andre. Oh, getting a little bit too much curve on the exit and throwing it all away. But at least he's trying. And it was a nice pass. Just unfortunately not so good on the exit. Well, he lives to fight for another day at least. And Mika has set the fastest first sector. An average middle sector. Let's see what his final sector will be like. In the last lap, Monet only did an 11.4, so Monet's pace has dropped off. I see his sector 1 and sector 2 times are pretty good, so possibly it's his final sector where he's just losing time. And that could be Monet now losing focus. Oh, Andre losing it. Getting a bit of a tank slapper on, and I think he's probably going to have no front wing after that. That's a shame. Him and Mario were having such a nice battle there. Yep, and there's no front wing on that car anymore. And Monet is now in second place, so Monet is now run wide somewhere. And we haven't seen it, he's right behind Mika, so whatever's happened, it's now got the two of them together on track again. So we've lost the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th, but we now have a battle for 1st and 2nd again. And they're looking. Dive up the inside. Oh, Mika have him covered. No, Mika's got him covered. And Mika getting it sideways on the brakes. Somehow managing to keep it in the right direction. I presume tyre wear is becoming an issue. I know the rear bias on the brakes is causing a lot of havoc with the guys. Possibly as the race is going on, the rear tyres are going off. Just looking by Mika and the way he was going into the corner there with the back end coming out under the brakes, I would presume it's a loss of rear grip. Right, as they're now catching up to Javier, I believe. Unless this could also be Andre Hildebrandt. Yes, that is Andre. Doesn't have his wing. Maybe make it stick this time around. Will you go for it? Will Mika have the confidence after the previous lap to unfortunately Monet having to take avoiding action because of Mika's sliding and he lost the opportunity, but he might make it around the outside. Can he make it stick? Of course Mika might come back on the inside and the next... No, he's actually made it. Mika's looking. I think they're both struggling with traction. Mika seems to be struggling the most though actually. Perhaps Mika's running with more rearward bias. Go on board now. That's Mika. Can he get in the slipstream? Right at the tail of Monet. He's going to dive out on the brakes. Getting a bit loose on the brakes, managing to extremely close. The car moving around so much, it's good confidence from both drivers in the other driver's ability. Managing to keep it clean. Good pass there to Mika. Mika once again back in the lead. Right, now it's Mone's turn once again. Looks like both of their lap times have totally dropped off. It's the mid 1 minute 12s. I'm not sure if that's purely because of tyre wear. Drivers throughout the field are doing 12s. Mario did a 12.2 on the previous lap. It's faster than what the leaders are currently racing at. Although the two of them driving side by side like they are. Mickey getting quite aggressive with his defending there. And then they get the better exit here. No, unfortunately Mika's car right at the apex, slowing Monet down. Perhaps Monet would be better to ease off a bit coming into the final chicane so that he can get a better drive out of it and then possibly pass Mika down the straight here. I think he was thinking about it there, but not quite close enough. So under 2 minutes to go, so it could probably be 2 more laps, and possibly even 3 more laps. This lap and possibly 2 more, since they're nearing the end of it. Side by side here. Monet trying to get a straighter line and better exit, but unfortunately running slightly wide there. Donny Stunder just set his personal best in sector 1. His previous lap was a 12.1. So these two in front, their lap times had gone into the high 12s the previous lap with a 1:12.8 for Monet. And they're now back into the 1:11s. Can Monet stick with him with only 30 seconds to go? They'll probably finish this lap and then do the final lap after. Only 20 seconds remaining. And they're having a good look here. He's on the outside unfortunately, so he's going to have to take a long way around. He's ahead there, but unfortunately Mika getting a better line, but oh, Monet getting a bit too airborne over the curb. Looked like he might actually be able to square it off and get a better drive, but that curb saying otherwise. I believe that's it. I was wrong, I thought they'd be able to get another lap in, but apparently not. So Mika has taken the win from Monet. That was pretty close, 0.38 of a second. A great victory for Mika once again, taking a victory and still undefeated in our Formula 4 Championship. Stephen Castellan is in the pits, so I presume he has finished. Did they perhaps actually all finish already? I'm gathering everyone has. Alright, so everyone has then finished, I'm going to jump to an ad break and see if I can find everyone. But our results at the moment... Where did this go now? Right, so let's have a look at our results. So, in first place we have Mika Abrams, in second place Monet Deploy, in third place Stephen Castellan, in fourth place Ross Human, in fifth place Mario Claessens, in sixth place Dani Stander, in seventh place Andre Hildebrandt, and taking up the rear Javigos in eighth place. So, let's jump to an ad break, and when I come back with you I will have the top three hopefully in the studio with us. Alright, welcome back everybody. We now have the top three from the race, as well as Willem Steyn joining us due to not being able to do his interview from the previous round on Saturday due to the lack of a stream. So let's start with Willem. Willem, well done on your third place last week, well, I say last week on Saturday. Finally making it to the podium. You've been threatening for a while now. Definitely doing really good, so sorry, it wasn't a what? It was a good race.
Spinning and also going off because I passed them after they span and then they came back and I knew the fight wasn't on, so I didn't put up much of a fight with them on that race. And next thing I knew, I was back in third, and then I saw the time behind me and I was like, okay, just keep it calm, keep your lap times at a good time, and I gotta say, I think I finished about 6.5 or 7 seconds ahead of Andre, which he also had a great race coming in fourth.
Yes. Yeah, I think Andre's the next one that's now threatening to get a podium. Unfortunately, tonight didn't go so well for him, also having a few incidents. But yeah, good to see you shaping up and actually improving race on race. And now, I think the round before in fourth place, so you're definitely threatening the podiums now on a more regular basis.
It's just these cars and rFactor. I just gelled with this more than all of the others, and I'm loving driving it.
Well done again. So then for tonight, we have Mika coming first, Monet in second, and Stephen in third. Let's start with Stephen. So Stephen, you had quite an eventful race. Several spins. You had a nice dice with your teammates. Ross finally having a good round as well.
Yeah.
And, you lost, unfortunately, second place to Monet. You were challenging for first at one point. So you had a lot happening. How was it from your point of view?
I had the most insane pull-off. Just blitzed off the line, and for the first 2-3 laps while the tires were warming up, I just couldn't get it right. I spun out like an unforced error, and then it happened 2 more times in the race. Just lack of concentration, I think. Just wasn't on the game tonight.
Yeah, the one that looked like you might have just taken a bit too much curb, and then it sort of got the rear end a little bit coming around, and that was it, gone.
And I went off twice on the fast back section on the easy right. I was just coming out, not paying attention, and then the front left wheel just touched the grass, and that's off.
Then to Monet, I mean, you also had quite an eventful race, leading for a long way after Mika had gone off. And Mika seemed to sort of get in the lead and just pull in a nice gap, and you were unfortunately stuck behind Stephen and Ross, and it took a while before you got through. And once you did, eventually Mika made a mistake gifting you the lead, and then unfortunately you having an incident as well. And after that, what a fantastic dice between the two of you. Unfortunately not going in your favor, but how was it from your point of view?
Thank you. First of all, great racing by Mika. Especially the last 3, 4, 5 laps. That's the kind of thing that I come back for every time, is just battling with someone. Congrats to him. And from the beginning, I thought I could maybe kind of pace myself, but I mean, you can't really. You kind of have to push the car, but in the right way, especially when the track temp's about 8 degrees, to get the tires warm as quickly as possible. But in the beginning, I dropped, I think, a position. I actually went a bit wide off. I don't know what corner it's called, but the kind of blind right-hander, fast right-hander, and I clipped the grass on the outside, and then that's when Ross overtook me.
Yeah, we saw that, yeah.
And then I just tried to, basically I thought the only way I was going to get past Ross and, Stephen went off. I think maybe at the same place I went slightly off, but the only way I was going to get past Ross was if I tried to try and pressure him, and eventually it kind of paid off. I actually thought he thought I was going to hit into him at one stage, but luckily I didn't, and then he spun out, and then I thought I had it in the bag, honestly, when I saw I was 7.5 seconds ahead of Mika, and then I just thought to myself, I tried to work it out in my head how many tenths per lap he was faster than me, and I thought I would have made it by about a second if I could keep it consistent, and obviously I spun out, and then we had that great battle at the end. But great racing by everyone tonight, I think.
Yeah, it's a pity about that spin at the end, because it looked like you definitely had a serious chance of getting your first win of the season. And at that point I was doing the math as well when you had your incident, and at that point I started wondering if you guys are having tire troubles, because it looked like, certainly when you were then behind Mika, the way Mika was getting the car, backing it into the corners, like he was very heavy rearward bias on the brakes, and I thought maybe the rear tires are starting to go for all the guys, and that's why all the incidents were happening.
Yeah, and actually I think it was the last lap, we both went in side by side into the last chicane, and I literally think we hit the brakes at the same time as well. So we were literally going side by side, and we both kind of got loose a little bit, and he managed to miss the sausage curbs, I think, but I hit the sausage curb and bounced up. I thought I was actually going to fly straight into the back of him, at that point. But luckily there was no contact there. But yeah, it was close. The slipstream helps a lot, I could tell you that.
Yeah, you're lucky that you didn't hit that sausage curb. I saw during the race Andre hit that sausage curb, and unfortunately
Yeah.
sort of flung the car around. So he was in a nice battle for 5th, 6th and 7th, and that kind of cost him.
Yeah.
But all right, then we'll segue into Miko with the rear end of your car going around like that into the corners. I mean, the way you were backing in, were you suffering at all from any tire wear? And was your brake bias heavily rearward? By the looks of things, it was, but I'm not too sure. But how was the race otherwise from your point of view?
It was very good. I didn't have any tire troubles. I was saving the tires a lot in the beginning. My brake bias is towards the rear, but it was a very chill race until that one sausage curve, and that was when I lost my mind. I had good pace. I was very consistent, doing 10.4s every lap, and then I thought I could catch up to Monet on the last lap, but then fortunately he spun, and I capitalized, and I defended through to the end.
Yeah, you definitely seem to be pulling away at quite a rate, and then at one point I could see you made a slight mistake because the gap went from almost 8 seconds down to about 6 seconds, and then it stabilized at about 6.1 for two or three laps, and then you suddenly had your incident, and then the race was on. And you guys had a fantastic battle going side by side several times. And a couple of times with Monet's tyre going right next to the side pod in your car, sort of between the tyres, virtually rubbing his tyres there.
Yeah.
Some really good close racing. You guys keeping it nice and clean. That's what we guys love to watch. So fantastic result. Well done again for that.
Thank you.
And to Monet as well. And fantastic watching you guys racing the way you did. And then to the rest of you guys, yeah, great racing, and we will, I guess, catch you all at the next one, which will be this coming Saturday. And then for those of you involved, we'll have the TCR race tomorrow night, and Monet will be doing that stream, and I'll be taking part in that. So those of you that have raced that haven't yet watched, I guess you'll be catching the stream later on tonight, so you can let me know how smooth it went. Hopefully it's much smoother than what Saturday went. We at least have a stream, so that's making progress. We have power. Without the heat.
Let's hope I have power for tomorrow night's race, not like last week when I was thrown out.
Yes, and a couple of the guys tonight don't have power, so unfortunately everyone seems to be getting their turns. But alright, I will thank you all once again, and I will catch you all at the next one, which will be on Saturday.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.